Hello students, welcome to Anne's classes. Let's do direct and inverse variations, chapter 10, exercise 10a. Question 7. 7 kg of rice costs 1120 rupees. How much rice can be bought for 3680 rupees? So, when we had 1120 rupees, we got 7 kgs of rice. If that amount that we have is increased to 3680, then the number of kgs of rice that we can buy will be much more. So this is direct variation. So let's start by saying quantity of rice that can be bought for 1120 rupees is 7 kgs. We can buy 7 kgs of rice. Now quantity of rice that can be bought for 3680 rupees we don't know, so we are going to consider that to be x kgs. So let's draw a table. So quantity of rice and cost in rupees, these are the two columns. Now quantity of rice here 7 kg. So let's write that 7. Now this is in kg. So we can write that here. So we don't have to write next to 7. And cost is 1120 rupees. Now here they're asking us how much of rice. So we don't know the quantities. That's going to be x. And the amount is 3680 rupees. Again, this is direct variation. So we can say 7 by 1120 is equal to x by 3680. So let's do cross multiplication here. We multiply this and this. So what do we get here? Here we get 7 into 3680 is equal to x into 1120. So now we're going to find the value of x. X is equal to 7 into 3680 divided by 1120. So here we can cancel 0 and 0. 7 and 112 also can be cancelled. 7 ones are 7 and 7 into 16 is 112. We can now cancel 16. Ones are 16 and 16 into 23 will give us 368. So now we have the value of x. X is equal to 23. And what is x? It is the quantity of rice that can be bought for so much. We said is x kg. So our answer is 23. So this is 23 kg. So this is our answer, 23 kgs. Let's do the same question in the arrow method. So in the arrow method, remember we make two columns. So first 7 kg of rice. So we're going to talk about this and then the amount. That means the quantity of rice in kg and the cost in rupees. These are our two columns which we are going to fill up now. So the quantity of rice is 7 kg, 7, and the cost is 1120 rupees. And again, the question is, how much rice can be bought? That means we don't know how much of rice can be bought for the amount 3680 rupees. So again, since the amount is increasing, the quantity of rice will also increase. That means it's direct variation. So both the arrow marks should be pointing in the same direction. So we have the quantity of rice here, the arrow mark pointing in this direction, and here also we have it pointing in this direction. Now to make our mathematical statement, we take the number that is closest to the arrowhead, and that is x, and that is going to be our numerator. 7 is the denominator, and on the other side similarly 3680 is the numerator, 1120 is the denominator. Now we cross multiply. And what do we get? Here we get x into 1120 is equal to 3680 into 7. So now we're going to find the value of only x. So x is equal to 3680 into 7 divided by 1120. So first let's cancel the zeros. Now we can cancel 7 and 112. 7 ones. Here 7 ones are 7. There is 4 left. 42. 7 sixes. So we have 7 into 16 is 1120. Now we can cancel 16 and 368. 16 ones and 16 into 23. So now we have found the value of x, and x is 23. And what did we say X is? X is the cost, okay, quantity of rice. So the quantity of rice that can be bought for 3,680 rupees is uh, 23. So 23 kg of rice. We can write that 23 kilograms. So our final answer should be mentioned quantity of rice that can be bought for 3,680 rupees is 23 kg, and this is our final answer. Question 8. 6 notebooks cost 156 rupees. Find the cost of 54 such notebooks. So let's start by saying cost of 6 notebooks. Now this is already given to us 156 rupees. Let the cost of 54 notebooks, we have to find that. So let that cost be X. Let's make our table. So what do we have here? We have number of notebooks. Here notebooks are given, so we put a number of notebooks, and then we have the cost. So cost in rupees. So number of notebooks is 6 and the cost is 156 rupees. Now we're going to increase the number of notebooks to 54 and the cost is going to be X, but when you increase the number of books, the cost will also increase. That means this is direct variation. So we just write 6 by 156 is equal to 54 by X. Now we cross multiply. So what do we get here? We get 6 into X is equal to 54 into 156. Now we can find the value of X. X is equal to 54 into 156 divided by 6. Now we can cancel 6 ones and 6 nines are 54. Now let's multiply these two. When we multiply, we get 1404. So we have found the value of X and X is 1404. And what is X here? We said X is the cost of 54 notebooks. So in place of X, we can write 1404. So this is the cost of 54 notebooks. So let's write that clearly. Cost of 54 notebooks is rupees 1404. Let's do the same thing in the arrow method here. So in the arrow method, we have to make two columns. So first we have the number of notebooks and then we have the cost. So let's make the columns. We have number of notebooks and we have the cost in rupees. So let's write that cost in rupees. Now let's fill in these columns. Number of notebooks is 6 and the cost is 156 rupees. Now here we are asked to find the cost of 54 notebooks. So we don't know the cost. So we're going to write X there. Now, look at the columns. The number of books have increased. So that means the cost will also increase. So this is also direct variation. So we draw the arrowheads like this so that both are pointing in the same direction. Now look at the number that is closest to the arrowhead. That has to be written first. So 54 by 6 is equal to, on the other side also, look out for the number closest to the arrowhead. It's X, X by 156. Now we cross multiply. What do we get here? We get 54 into 156 is equal to X into 6. Now let's find the value of X alone. X is equal to 54 into 156 divided by 6. So here let's cancel. 6 ones are 6 and 6 nines are 54. 9 into 156 we just learned, and that is 1404. So this is the cost of 54 notebooks. So you can write the unit rupees. So this is our answer. The cost of 54 notebooks is rupees 1404. Final answer. 9. 22 men can dig a 27-meter long trench in one day. How many men should be employed for digging a 135-meter long trench of the same type? Let's begin and then find out how we need to do it. Number of men needed to dig a 27-meter long trench is 22 men. So let the number of men needed to dig a 135-meter long trench be X. Now let's make a columns. So the two columns, one is number of men and the other one is length of the trench. Now number of men is 22 and the length of the trench is 27 meters. Again, the length of the trench is 135 meters, but we don't know the number of men. Now, as you can see, when the length of the trench increases, the number of men needed to do that also should increase. That means this is direct variation. So let's do that. So let's write down 22 by 27 is equal to x by 135. Now let's cross multiply these two and these two. So now this will be 22 into 135 is equal to x into 27. Now let's solve for x. So x is equal to 22 into 135 divided by 27. Here we can cancel 22 and 135, 27 and 135. So here 27 ones and 27 into 5 is 135. Now we just have to multiply 22 into 5 and that is 110. So we have found the value of x and x is 110. And what did we say x is? The number of men. So let's write our answer. Number of men needed to dig a 135-meter long trench is 110. So this is our answer. The arrow method. In the arrow method, we write the columns. So first we have 22 men and then length of the trench in meters. So now let's fill in this. So number of men is 22 and the length of the trench is 27 meters. Now this is given to us here in the question. Then how many men should be employed for digging a 135-meter long trench? So here the length of the trench is now 135 meters and the number of men we don't know, so we're going to consider that to be x. So here, when the length of the trench has increased, the number of men also will increase. So that means it is direct variation. So we have the arrowhead showing us the direct variation. And now to write out a mathematical equation, here we have to look at what is close to the arrowhead and that has to be written first. So we have x by 22 is equal to, similarly here also, 135 by 27. Now we cross multiply. We cross multiply these two and then we write this as x into 27 is equal to 135 into 22. Now to find the value of only x, we say 135 into 22 divided by 27. Now we can cancel 27 and 135, 1 and 5. Multiply 5 into 22 and we get 110. So we have found our answer. Number of men needed to dig a 135-meter long trench is 110. The number of men. Question 10. If the total weight of 11 identical articles is 77 kgs, then how many articles of the same type would weigh 224 kg? So number of articles that weigh 77 kgs is 11 articles. Then let the number of articles that weigh 224 kg be considered to be x. Let's make our tables. So we have number of articles and weight in kg. So number of articles is 11. So we have 11 articles, 77 kgs. Then we have 224 kg, but we don't know the articles, so this is x. So here, when the weight increases, that means the number of articles will also increase. So this is direct variation. So let's begin by saying 11 by 77 is equal to x by 224. So here let's cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, what do we get? We get 11 into 224 is equal to x into 77. So to find x, what do we write? We say x is equal to 11 into 224 divided by 77. Cancel 11 and 77. 11 sevens are 77. Now we can cancel 224 by 7. 7 ones. 7 threes are 21 and there is 1 left, 14. 7 2. So that's 32. So x is equal to 32. 2. That means the number of articles is x, isn't it? So, and that is 32. So we have found the number of articles that weigh 224 kg, and that is 32. This is our answer. The arrow method. So here we make two columns. So one is number of articles and the other is the weight of the articles in kg. So let's fill in. Number of articles here, it's given as 11. So let's write 11 articles, 77 kg, and then 224 kg. They're asking us how many articles, and we don't know, we're going to mark it as x. So here when the weight has increased, the number of articles will also increase. So this is direct variation. Let's use arrow marks to show that. So here this will increase because this has increased. Now let's write out our mathematical statement. So that is x by 11 is equal to 224 by 77. Cross multiplication. X into 77 and 11 into 224. So that is x into 77 is equal to 224 into 11. To find the value of x, we say x is equal to 224 into 11 divided by 77. Cancel. This is 7 and this is 32. So we have found the value of x and x is 32. And what is our answer? Number of articles that weigh 224 kg is 32. So 32 articles is our answer. Question 11. A train is moving with uniform speed of 120 kilometers per hour. How far will it go in 36 minutes? So here, since the question is in 36 minutes, we will convert this hour to 60 minutes. So distance covered in 60 minutes is 120 kilometers. Let the distance covered in 36 minutes be x. So this is what we have to find out. Let's make a table. So we have time in minutes and distance in kilometer. So time here we have 1 hour, which is 60 minutes. So in 60 minutes, the distance covered is 120 kilometers. In 36 minutes, we have to find out the distance covered. So we're putting x there. So here, the time from 60 minutes, it has reduced to 36 minutes. When the time reduces, the distance will also decrease. So again, this is direct variation. So let's work it out. 60 by 120 is equal to 36 by x. So cross multiply. Then what do we have? 60 into x is equal to 36 into 120. Now to find the value of x, we say 36 into 120 divided by 60. Cancel now, cancel the zeros. 6 ones are 6, 6 twos are 12. Now multiply the numerators. 36 into 2 is 72. So we have found that x is equal to 72 and that is the distance of 72 kilometers. And this is our answer. Second part of the same question, in how much time will it cover 210 kilometers? So time taken to cover 120 kilometers is 60 minutes. Remember, we are writing it in minutes. So time taken to cover 210 kilometers will be more than that, isn't it? So now let's write it as x and make our table. So this time the two columns are time in minutes and distance in kilometer. So in minutes we have 60 minutes. So 60 minutes, in 60 minutes we have 120 kilometers. Now we don't know the time taken to cover 210 kilometers. So we're going to write the time as x. And then 210 kilometers is what we're writing here, 210 kilometers. So now, when the distance has increased from 120 to 210 kilometers, the time will also increase. More time will be needed to cover a longer distance, isn't it? So this is also direct variation. So let's make our equation. So here we have 60 by 120 is equal to x by 210. So let's cross multiply here and here. So what do we get here? Here we get 60 into 210 is equal to x into 120. So x is equal to 60 into 210 divided by 120. So let's cancel the zeros, and 6 and 12 we can also cancel. 12 5s are 60. Now 5 into 21, and that is 105. Now this is 105 minutes. So the time taken to cover 210 kilometers is 105 minutes. Now you can convert this to minutes and hours by dividing 105 by 60. Because 60 minutes make an hour. So in that case, after dividing, you can see that the time is now 1 hour and 45 minutes. That is, you divide 105 by 60 because 60 minutes. So 60 ones are 60 and 105. Now let's subtract. So here we have 5. 10 minus 6 is 4, 45. So this is 1 hour and this is 45 minutes. So that's how we got our answer, 105 minutes, or you can write 1 hour 45 minutes. So with this, children, we come to the end of our exercise. We'll stop with this. Thank you.